Hello there. My name is Vaughn, and I am doing my book report on Warriors Into the Wild, which is his first book in the series. This series is done by Aaron Hunter. Without further ado, let's begin the presentation. Rusty is a normal house cat who longs to live in the forest with one of the clans of warriors. The warriors are wildcats that live together in clans. There's the Thunder Clan, the Shadow Clan, the River Clan, and the Wind Clan. Their afterlife is basically the Star Clan, which is where warriors go when they die. One day, Rusty ventures out into the forest during the nighttime. He encounters Graypaw, who is one of the apprentices in training to become a Thunder Clan warrior. During the fight, Rusty is pushed down by Graypaw. Graypaw gets off him and starts licking his paw, proudly. Then he mentions to Rusty that he is an apprentice in training to become a warrior for the Thunder Clan. He says lots of the Thunder Clan warriors are much stronger than him. He then convinces Rusty, mentions to Rusty about the Thunder Clan. Later that evening, Rusty encounters Blue Star and Tiger Claw. Tiger Claw is a hard-headed cat that all that comes to him is fighting. Blue Star is leader of the Thunder Clan. Blue Star saw Rusty fight Graypaw and is amazed at how powerful he is for a kitty pet, which a kitty pet is a cat that lives with two legs, which are us. If Rusty returns at noon by the next day, or what the cats call sun high, then he could be accepted into the Thunder Clan. Tiger Claw highly opposes this idea, though. But in the end, Blue Star asks Rusty, "What will you do?" At high noon at the next day, Rusty returns to the forest. There, he waits for Tiger Claw, who comes by and leads him to the Thunder Clan. At the Thunder Clan, Rusty has to go through a process to become one of the cats. Well, typically it's not a process, but it's a challenge. Longtail, another cat from the clan, challenges him to a fight. Rusty wins the fight, but his collar falls off because Longtail ripped it off and tore it to shreds to use it against Rusty. After Rusty defeats Longtail, he is then known as Firepaw. This means that he has been chosen and accepted into the Thunder Clan. And for many moons, he begins training with Tiger Claw. One day, while he's patrolling the borders, he finds a cat named Yellowfang, who is a loner, which means it's a cat that has no place in any of the clans and just roams around in the woods. After a fierce battle with Yellowfang, Tiger Claw appears, and they take Yellowfang back to the Thunder Clan camp. They soon find out that Yellowfang was a Shadow Clan medicine cat. A medicine cat is one of the cats that helps heal other cats that have been injured. After this, Tiger Claw becomes furious at Rusty because he has brought in another cat for them to feed. Food is already scarce in the forest, but still, Blue Star denies him. Blue Star says she is too weak to go anywhere and it'd just be pointless to leave her out in the woods. So they let her stay in the Thunder Clan for a while. After that, Blue Star takes Firepaw as her apprentice. After a few moons, Firepaw makes friends with Greypaw, who is the one he fought in the beginning of the book, and Ravenpaw, who is the apprentice of Lionheart. Moons later, Blue Star mentions a day called the Gathering. Firepaw asks Greypaw what the Gathering is. Greypaw says that the Gathering is when all 4 clans come together and discuss stories and other things. Blue Star also mentions that she'd be taking some other cats with her. These cats include Greypaw, Ravenpaw, Firepaw, Lionheart, and Tigerclaw. When Firepaw arrives at the gathering, he is amazed by all the other cats. Yet, one thing doesn't happen. The Wind Clan does not show up, which is very, very strange. After a while of meeting up with everyone, the Shadow Clan leader, Broken Star, calls everyone's attention. He says that there is a rogue on the loose. He says that this rogue will take any of the kits from the nurseries, and that will kill them. He also mentions that the rogue is from the Shadow Clan, leading many to believe that this is Yellowfang. But Firepaw seems very puzzled. The Shadow Clan leader, Broken Star, also mentions that the reason the Wind Clan is not there is because they had to turn over the territory to the Shadow Clan because the Shadow Clan is losing more prey and is becoming more weak. So the Shadow Clan has forced the Wind Clan out of their territory. By forcing the Wind Clan out of their territory, the Shadow Clan had broken one of the warriors' codes. This made a huge impact on the Shadow Clan, making them more fearsome and menacing. The Shadow Clan asks that the Thunder Clan and the River Clan also turn over their hunting territory for the Shadow Clan to hunt in. The River Clan turns it over without even realizing what they've done, but the Thunder Clan keeps theirs. After they get back, they find out that it was a lie that the Shadow Clan leader was telling. Blue Star convinces Tigerclaw not to attack Yellowfang, and this is how they find out that Yellowfang was innocent. That night, Rusty has a strange dream. He imagines huge shadows coming and attacking the Thunder Clan. Cats screaming and running in terror and fear. That very next day, Blue Star, Firepaw, and Lionheart, and Greypaw and Ravenpaw all attempt to make the journey to Mothermouth, which inside holds the Moonstone. They need to do this because Blue Star must see something that the Star Clan is trying to show her. So after they make the journey all the way to Mothermouth, Blue Star takes Firepaw in with her. After hours of Blue Star just staring at the Moonstone, which has glowed so brightly after they entered, she finally starts to seem a bit shocked. She begins to panic and tries to hurry up. She rushes out of the cave where Firepaw can barely even keep up with her, and she says, "We have to get back to the Thunder Clan." After they make it back, they find out that the Thunder Clan is being attacked by the Shadow Clan in a fierce battle. After they arrive back, they've realized that the Shadow Clan has attacked. So, Firepaw, Greypaw, and Ravenpaw rush in to help in the battle. When he rushes into the nursery, he finds the deputy dead on the ground because Yellowfang had saved the kits, making the lie Broken Star told a very big lie. because Yellowfang had just protected the kits from dying. Firepaw then rushes out of the nursery and starts attacking to help defend the Thunder Clan from the Shadow Clan. And after a perilous battle, Lionheart dies. The Ravenpaw goes into mourning. If I told you any more about what happened, that'd be spoiling the entire book. So, if you want to learn what happens, go get this book today. The book is called Warriors Into the Wild and is by Aaron Hunter. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoy it. Remember, go pick up this book today. Thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Goodbye.